Hi everyone, let's paint together today this beautiful anahata chakra heart chakra mandala. All materials will be in description and let's start it. Our base already ready, every 1 centimeters and 30 degrees lines. And first we are doing our dot with Nuvo cream drops, Cloud 9 this one. I'm placing a medium size. You can help with tiny tool to shape your form if you need one, or it's just like perfect working for me now. And the first row we are making with sea glass DecoArt Americana. We are placing dots, as you see, between the lines, as close as you can, but not too close. So beside these sizes, it's perfectly working for us. And moving forward, one after another, non-rush. We can add a little bit more paint to the dots. Just be careful until it dry out. And the next row we are making with Amaze-Mint. And this time we are placing dots on the lines, as you see, inside of inner circle. And with these particular sizes, it's working like we are placing this between previous row dots. And it's working nicely for us. Don't worry if it's not exactly like you see on video. Just remember we are placing different type of paint, different temperature, different like pressure, so it's really your custom paint. And the next row we are making with this beautiful color sour apple. Beautiful, exactly between the lines, and in this case between the previous row of dots. Don't too close to each other, leave some space, but close enough to make this, as you see, so nicely working all together. Moving forward with oval shape, you can use classic one with, for example, size 5, but I'm working with oval shape. It lengths 6-7 millimeters, and it's exactly working on the lines as you see inside of the cycle. And this is our first custom color. Everything will be in description. All materials, colors, so you can take and create your own one. Heart Chakra Mandala. And one after another we're moving forward. You can add additional paint, like coming back twice. And don't forget to remove all bubbles that you can see, especially with custom colors that you are preparing when you're mixing colors. This small tiny tool, 1 millimeter, and the color is Citron green, like nicely making like contrast for us. See, I'm placing dots on the lines, a little bit on the top of this oval shape dots that we just made. And you can literally do this if you don't have this shape, just make it with classic ones. Don't forget, you can create whatever you want. And with 1/2 millimeter, with the same paint, I'm walking around and making like literally really small dots, but these ones really nicely adding like small details that still can be visible on a final result. And if you're not sure yet your movement, just wait until everything dry out. So if you messed up a little bit, just call it this way, you just easily remove everything that not dried out yet. And you see already how it's making difference. These small tiny details. Just walking around, don't rush. Take your time. I'm not counting these dots, I'm just walking around. And you see how beautiful it is already. So we are moving forward, but you definitely can create something like that. It's so nice and beautiful. And with the next one, we are moving again with sour apple color. And you see, I'm placing dots in the middle, around this circle, inside of this circle, and I'm placing in the middle between the lines, leaving some space between so I can play more around these dots later on. With Amaze-Mint, we are making like 1.5 millimeter tool. We are making dots, as you see, on the top of these dots that we're just making, like small ones. You can play maybe even if it's 2 millimeter tool, so it's kind of between 1.5 and 2 millimeters. And the next step, with the same color, Amaze-Mint, I'm taking like smallest brushes you can find, and you are making small strokes around. You definitely can do with this size the same with just a tool. So work like you use the tool that you like if you don't want to brush. And as you see, I'm moving around and between previous row dots at the end of the strokes. Again, if you're not sure yet, can't stress this enough, just wait until everything dry out. It's like 20-30 minutes, not too much. Don't rush. And if you're not sure yet in your strokes, for example, it's always scary to make it. So just wait until everything dry out, and after that move forward. If everything will be, if something will be not good enough for you, you can easily remove, but in this case you will be removing only fresh paint. The next step, also with oval shape, I'm leaving behind one line, and on the second one I'm placing with our first custom color this around 1 centimeter length oval shape. Again, you can do the same with a classic one, so don't be scary or disappointed that you don't have this particular shape. Just Remember that with paint, a brush and little amount of tools, you can definitely even this shape create with just a thin tool and a brush. Just don't stress yourself. This is a process of creation. You can do whatever you want. Don't forget about that. And we are placing this, as you see, on between lines, like between on the top of a line, and I'm moving paint around on the top because I want to place another level on the top. So moving forward with this citron green, I'm placing dots. First one on a line, and after that two nearby. As you see, it's a little bit easier in this case to play with dimensions and sizes because you kind of already know what you are working with. So place one on a line and two a little bit below between new dots in this oval shape, and this will make a difference, will be much easier for you. And one more thing, don't try to, I'm just saying, I'll come back to this thought. The same color, a little bit smaller tool, and you can easily create this nice shape of dots. So you got three big ones and the small ones walking around. It's also one of the tips how you can play with sizes and make it like nice line between from big to small ones. And thought that I want to come back to, if you get tired, it's difficult to paint, difficult to concentrate, don't make yourself to make paint this mandala in one day or in 1 hour. Come back when you are ready, come back when you are resting, come back when you want to enjoy your painting. For me, it's just most important, enjoy the process. And in this case, you will enjoy the result. So coming back to our paint, just walking around, and you see now this pattern combining with the previous one, and this color making nice accent because it's a little bit more yellowish. And a small middle-sized brush, and we are walking around with our clear glass color, and you see our strokes. I'm placing literally simple strokes. I'm starting almost on the line, our last line, marks which we made, and I'm walking around and ending between the previous line of this small, let's call it flowers, and walking around again. As I said, if you're not sure yet in your strokes, for example, wait until everything dry out, and after that you can come back and make your strokes. And as if something ever will be not nice enough for you, you can easily remove paint until it's dry out. For the next strokes, I'm using the same brush and sour apple color. I'm starting like 5 millimeters below and making strokes just around. And I like in this particular case to make strokes like as close as possible, so no black lines between, so you can't see base color. And it's becoming more and more greenish. I like it. Pressing in the beginning and releasing pressure. And you can come back one more time with moving paint and will be nice line in the center of the stroke that make like nice effect that you can see a lot of paint on the stroke. Pressing down and releasing. Pressing down and releasing. Leaving enough space between these flowers, as you see. Pressing, releasing. Really nice. You can leave it like that. I like it. A little bit bigger brush, but actually you can use the same one. And our first color, I'm starting like almost on the top of this mandala and moving around. And this time I literally looking between the flowers more. I don't want to combine the strokes, but if it will be combined, don't worry too much. And I'm moving around like that. I'm creating like petals around these flowers, still leaving the space between petals, like 1 centimeter, maybe 5 millimeters. Really depends on your painting. And again, pressing at the beginning and releasing after that. Pressing, releasing. And when I'm coming back second time, I'm making this line at the center of the stroke, making like nice effect of a volume, of amount of paint that was on the brush. And this make also, even when it dry out, you can see the difference. If you see bubbles, just remove it. I'm doing this with a needle, or maybe you got like such a thin tool, they can you do this with a tool. It's beautiful, so green. So I want to add a little bit more color to these flowers. With the same tool, 1 centimeter tool, I'm placing oval shape dots on the top, but leaving a little bit space. So kinda 4-3 millimeters still visible or previous color, and this time I'm placing Amaze-Mint. You can see it's going a little bit lower. like 3, I believe 3 millimeters, yeah. But you see how different you're painting now. It's like so just this simple one detail just lighting up immediately our flowers. Middle or small size brush and the same Amaze-Mint. I'm making small strokes between. I'm not even going down along the flower, just between flowers like that. Close enough to the flowers, and this way I'm brightening up these corners, but also I'm making this effect that, like, because we are creating heart chakra and this flower is symbolizing our petals of our chakra, and this kind of giving like this effect of openness of our petals of our chakra, receiving and giving energy. So it's kind of a couple of symbolism points, at least for me. When I creating this, it will definitely mean a lot. And if we're talking about this just about the palette, you see how this lighting up our paint. It's still greenish, but it's kinda a little bit lighter now. Camera is now like changing the colors a little bit, but it's still really green. So we can come back, and with the same tool and the same paint, when everything dry out, we can come back and add a little bit more volume to our dots, as you see now. So slow, don't rush, to come back exactly to the same place and add a little bit more, the same obviously color, on the top. So the same 3D drops and small drops on the circle of our green. It's everything green, but all this you can see on the video, this row of dots. And again, I can't stress it enough. You see how this lighten up our painting? Yeah, definitely. I like this color. It's really interesting one. And also in the middle, at these spots that we left, I'm placing middle-sized dots and making tails toward the flowers. And again, it's lighting up, and at the same time, this kind of connecting our paint a little bit. Because actually I like to leave some black spaces, or not obviously black, but the base color, because it's kind of giving you deepness. But at the same time, these elements also working really nicely. And also I'm adding, when everything dry out, I remind you, I'm adding drops on the top of this oval shape and making tails towards the end of this flower. And this also making difference, lighting up and combining our paint all together, our painting. We are always adding these details only when first layer of paint dry out, or not first but previous layer of paint dry out. And at the end I'm adding, like between flowers, and on the top of flowers, middle size. And with needle or thin tool, I'm making like tails, but only between these petals. So I'm leaving just a drop between flowers and making small tails with drops on the top of flowers. Difficult to explain, but you can see on the video. I'm just at the beginning I'm just placing the same size drops, and after that I'm making with the needle tails, but only between petals of flowers, on top of flowers. And it's ready. We definitely waiting until dry out and varnishing after that, but look at this beauty. Hope you enjoy this video, this heart chakra mandala, and see you on next one. Bye.